Hello, Lakeview Church. This is Pastor Andy. It is April 8th, 2020, Wednesday of Holy Week. I hope this day finds you safe and healthy. I wanted to give you an update about our Easter Sunday drive-in worship service that we had planned for this Sunday. Unfortunately, even though we talked with both the mayor of Stoughton and the chief of police here in Stoughton, and even though other churches in our area have done drive-in services and we're planning to continue doing them, someone reported Lakeview Church and our planned Easter service to the Dane County Department of Public Health. And the Department of Public Health has issued an interpretation of Governor Evers' Safer at Home order. And their interpretation is that we would be in violation of the Safer at Home order by having cars in our parking lot with the windows rolled up and no personal interaction with anybody. They've said that traveling for worship is non-essential and is therefore banned. Now, I want to say two things in response to that. First, Jesus taught us in Mark chapter 12, verses 30 and 31, that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second commandment is like the first, to love your neighbor as yourself. Lakeview Church has from the beginning of this COVID-19 pandemic sought to love our neighbors as ourselves. We moved our public worship gatherings from in-person to online immediately, before the mass gathering bans even required us to do so. We encouraged small groups to begin meeting virtually and to practice social distancing because we wanted to join the movement to flatten the curve, and we wanted to protect those who are at high risk in our church family and in our community. We love our neighbors as ourselves, and it has never been our intention from the beginning to put anyone at risk. We didn't believe, and we still don't believe, that a family sitting in their car with the windows rolled up and having no in-person interaction with anyone, we don't see how that puts anyone at risk. And in fact, we think that the Dane County Department of Public Health has not only violated our religious liberty, they've also violated Governor Evers' own Safer at Home order. And that's the second thing I wanted to respond. The governor's order gives an exemption to churches. We are defined as an essential function of society right now. And so I just want to read to you from the governor's own Safer at Home order, section 13, paragraph H, which says this. Here's how he defines one of the essential entities. Weddings, funerals, and religious entities are considered essential. And he says this: religious facilities, entities, groups, and gatherings, and weddings and funerals, except that any gathering shall include fewer than 10 people in a room or confined space at a time, and individuals shall adhere to social distancing requirements as much as possible. So it is not a violation of the Safer at Home order for Christians to drive to their church parking lot, to sit in their car with the windows rolled up, and to worship God with other Christians in other cars with their windows rolled up. Contrary to what the Dane County Department of Public Health says, we're not violating the order. Now at this time, for now, we are choosing to comply with the law, and so we won't be having our drive-in Easter Sunday worship service. We'll be doing it over video the way we've done the last several Sundays. But I want to challenge you. When we were praying as a staff about this decision, I felt like the Lord gave me this word. To the enemies of the gospel who tried to cancel Easter Sunday, more people will hear the word online than would be possible to have heard it at a drive-in service. You lose. God wins again. Lakeview Church, this is an opportunity for us to fight back. And I don't mean organizing a protest and starting a rally and doing all that stuff. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to fight back spiritually. This is a call to prayer, a call to continue our fasting. There is a spiritual enemy that does not want people to gather and worship God on Easter Sunday. But I have news. Nothing and no one can stop us from worshiping God any day, let alone Easter. The gospel is unstoppable. We've been talking about that for months now as we've looked at the book of Acts together. So I want to encourage you. Easter is not canceled. We are worshiping God on Easter Sunday. We will continue to do that. And let's fight back by, if every single one of us will share the Easter video that we post on Sunday morning, if every one of us will share that with at least one person, more people will have heard the gospel proclaimed than would have been possible in our church parking lot. We will have extended the message of Christ further and further than broadcasting it on the FM radio station. So I want to encourage you to do that, to fight back, to rise up. Now, I have called the governor's office because I believe that the Department of Public Health in Dane County is violating his own order. And I've called them. Of course, nobody answered. And they said, the voicemail system said, we're sorry, but the voicemail box is full and you cannot leave a message at this time. Go figure. That's government, right? I also called our local representatives to see if there's anything that they can do, because I do believe that this is not right. It is a violation of our rights as human beings, as American citizens, as Christians, to worship our God and our Savior. And it's a violation of Governor Evers' Safer at Home order. But we are fighting back in those ways too. But all of us can pray and all of us can share the message. And I would encourage you to do that. God will win in the end. And the last thing I want to say is this. Jesus also taught us not only to love our neighbors as ourselves, he also taught us to pray for our enemies and to bless those who persecute you. It seems to me like somebody at the Dane County Department of Public Health does not want Christians to gather and worship God on Easter Sunday. Well, whoever that person is, we should lift them up in prayer. They need the gospel of Christ every bit as much as anybody else does, and Jesus died for them too. And so we want to pray for all of our leaders and government officials, even the ones who may not agree with our message. We want to pray for them during this season. We want to pray and bless them and ask God to give them wisdom and ask God to save them. And so I would encourage you to do that. Have a blessed Holy Week. We are live streaming our service on Good Friday at 6 p.m. on our Facebook page. And then we'll have the video for Easter Sunday up on YouTube like we have. God bless you and have a blessed day.